Hello, my name is Ley Ebrada. I am the founder of a women-owned and operated accounting firm, Ebrada Financial Group. I'm here to offer guidance on if you should file taxes and what to do in different situations. Depending on how much money you made last year, you may or may not have to file taxes. If your parents will not claim you as a dependent and your gross income meets the IRS minimum income guidelines for filing a tax return, you'll need to file taxes. If someone will claim you as a dependent, yet you exceed the minimum income threshold, you'll need to file taxes. However, even if you're not required, you may still want to file. If you worked at all during the year, your employer may have withheld taxes from your paycheck. Filing may be the only way to possibly get at least some of the money refunded to you. So if you're filing independently, you may be able to take advantage of refundable or special one-time only tax credits. If you don't feel like you know the subject well enough, affordable expert help is available. Start your search on campus. Sometimes students majoring in business help with the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. VITA offers free tax help to those who qualify, as well as persons with disabilities and limited English-speaking taxpayers who need assistance. These IRS certified volunteers provide basic income tax preparation with electronic filing to qualified individuals. If you don't have volunteers on campus, the IRS mobile app can help you find free VITA assistance locations near you. I have provided the links for your convenience. In 2020 and 2021, we received government stimuluses. There are many people who do not need to file taxes. Even if you don't need to file taxes, you are able to sign up for a non-filer payment. This will set you up in the future to receive stimulus payments easily. If you are not a dependent and have not received any or some of your stimulus payments, you may need to file a tax return to get the remaining stimulus payments. I've provided a link for your convenience to sign up for non-filers. Most U.S. citizens and permanent residents who work in the U.S. need to file a tax return if they made more than $12,550. You may want to file even if you make less than that amount, because you may get money back if you file. This could apply if you have had federal income tax withdrawn from your pay or withheld from your pay, made estimated tax payments, qualify to claim tax credits such as the earned income tax credit or the child tax credit. When filing taxes and under 24 years of age, it's always best to check with your parents if they're claiming you as a dependent. This changes the deductions available to you, and if filed incorrectly, can cause an audit. I've provided some examples of different situations that you may fall under. If this is you, please consult with your parents before filing your taxes. Should you find yourself in the situation where you can claim your parents as dependents, you'll have to ensure that you meet the requirements. Your parent is supported by you with more than 50% of their living expenses, residency and relationship. So this means residency in the same household or the same state, and related as in parent or grandparent. They also need to earn less than $4,300 of gross income. So this includes their Social Security, their retirement, and any investments. Also, we need to make sure that they don't qualify as a dependent of anyone else, like your siblings or other family members, if you're splitting the support for your parents. If you are not a dependent and you make over $12,550 income, you are required to file taxes. If you only have income from scholarships and grants with no income from a job, you are not required to file taxes. The same thing applies to students that are parents themselves. For any students that are temporarily in the US, there's no minimum dollar amount of income that can trigger a requirement for filing. But you should have, but should you have a taxable scholarship or a fellowship grant, income partially or totally exempt from tax under the terms of a tax treaty, and any other income that is taxable under the Internal Revenue Code, you are required to file taxes. If you're unsure, please check with a tax professional. So here is some examples where filing is not required by non-resident students and scholars. So if you have interest income from a US bank, US credit union, US insurance company, savings and loan institutions, you get a scholarship or a fellowship grant that is entirely tax-free scholarship. Um, any other income that is non-taxable under the Internal Revenue Code. While you are not required to file taxes, tax compliant casts a favorable light on an individual seeking a discretionary U.S. immigration benefit. In order to file a tax return as a non-citizen, you must obtain an ITIN. So it's an individual taxpayer identification number. It's a tax processing number issued by the Internal Revenue Service. The IRS issues ITINs to individuals who are required to have a U.S. taxpayer identification number, but who do not have and are not eligible to obtain a Social Security number from the Social Security Administration. IRS issues ITINs to help individuals comply with U.S. tax laws and to provide a means to efficiently process and account for tax returns and payments for those not eligible for Social Security numbers. Keep in mind, it does not authorize work in the U.S., provide eligibility for Social Security benefits, and qualify a dependent for earned income tax credit purposes. The official end of tax season is April 15th, but should it fall on a holiday, a weekend, it will always be extended to the next weekday. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn more about your tax situation. I've provided my contact information should you need to find a new tax professional. Thank you so much.